Welcome everybody to another episode of Uneducated MMA. I'm your host with the most wanted brand, and I'm joined here by the BMF champion of the world, REG.
Let's go. Hell yeah.
Glad to be back. Welcome back, everybody. And this week we got the recap of UFC 325.
Definitely a good card, man.
Yeah, dog. Honestly, I like this one like better in terms of production wise than the first one, but I will say like fight wise wasn't as good for me.
Yeah.
I feel like there were some good ones on the prelims, but once we got into the main card, kind of fell off.
Yeah, no,
Just
true.
a little bit.
True. Maybe it's like I just missed this so much.
Yeah.
Like getting together with the boys,
Yeah,
watching
man.
some fights again. Like we went 6 weeks.
Yeah, it was a good time, bro. It was a good time. I feel like the back-to-back pay-per-views was an interesting move. I liked it in the sense of like big names. Let's get the excitement back. Let's get the juices flowing, going back into the UFC season, starting up again. But at the same time, I feel like all my prep and everything, all the hype that I had kind of went into 324. So then when 325 came, I was like, hell yeah. Like, it was all right, you know?
Back to our regular shit.
Yeah, it like, it didn't feel like the energy I had when it's like a fight night, but it definitely wasn't like, I feel like, as much hype that I would have for a regular pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that just goes into like what the fights were. Like
Maybe it's like the feeling of now that we don't have to pay for a pay-per-view.
yeah.
I get a little.
I'm watching
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. You gonna watch it. Maybe it's the fact that we ain't paying. It don't feel that pay-per-view-ish big event because it's regular Paramount shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
we just went
before
click,
you would
and
have
it
to,
was on.
you know what I'm saying, buy the whole freaking pay-per-view and it'd be worth something.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's a little cheaper.
That is
Take
true.
it for granted.
More of a spectacle, I guess, back then. Now you're just like, all right, bet, let's get into it. I feel it's still for me at least, it's still the sentiment of like 324. There was a lot of stakes. It was like pretty hyped. I was intrigued to see where it was going. And then 325 came along, and I felt like, all right, looking at the card, good fights, but nothing that intrigued me so much where I was locked in on the fights, and I really, not that I didn't care about the outcomes, but I was like, all right, whatever happens, happens. Like either which way any of these fights go, I'm not emotionally staring at my TV at 2 in the morning crying. You know what I'm saying?
It did feel like a duplicate event. Like we've seen this event before.
I get you on that one too. Well, technically, I guess we have.
Yeah.
Volk versus Diego Lopes too. So you know,
Same outcome.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It kind of felt the same as well. I feel it went towards Volk the entire time in the same way it went with Volk in the first fight, except for like that one time that Diego clipped him. It was just a lot. It just went to prove like like some of the people that are in the sport understand what it is to study the game and what it is to evolve as you go along in the sport. As you age comes knowledge. Yeah. There's some other ones that are like, I don't want to say one trick pony, but some of them are. They're like, I'm gonna stick to my guns here. Like I got this really good left hand, and that's all I'm really gonna go for. Yeah. If you start mixing it up, I get lost. I think that those guys kind of fall behind. When it comes to people like Volkanovski, you can tell that with every fight, he really does his best to try to evolve and get to the next level, whatever that might be.
He has very high IQ.
For sure. I think that this was a test of that, where if Diego Lopes was able to sit down, look at the tape, see what's going on, and then from there genuinely put together a game plan to kind of disable Volkanovski and move forward to become the champion, great. We didn't see that at all. At least for me, I didn't see that. I don't know about you.
No, I didn't see that. Freaking Diego Lopes, he's ill, but I don't know. It's like he needs couple more fights to be a champion.
I think he just needs a little bit more experience in the octagon when it comes to different looks. Because there's something about Volkanovski where he's just so well-rounded that it's difficult to kind of game plan for that guy. Yeah. Like, the only times I've seen him get finished so far have been by two guys, and both of them roughly did the same thing. I'm going to back you up into a corner, and then I'm going to get you from there. With Islam, the first time, it was more so like, I guess, a war. The second time, though, he was able to do what Volk did to Diego, where he's like, all right, I'm going to study your moves, and I'm going to go based off that, and I'm going to make this a much quicker fight for me. I'm going to make this an easier fight for me. Where was it going with that? With, what's his name? Ilya did this similar idea. He's like, I'm just going to make sure there's already enough footage on Volk. I'm going to make sure that I watch everything that he does. I'm going to figure out his patterns, and I'm going to lock in on that, walk him into a corner, and I'm going to shut his lights off. He got it done. Yeah, you would think going forward that most people would do the right thing and they would study him and then kind of go from there. And I do believe that they do their due diligence when it comes to that. And also with like their coaches, they go in there and they train and practice for that. At the same time, though, I felt like I saw the same fight again. Just a little less exciting, maybe. You know, didn't have that same energy. The first time I was like, go either way. And if Diego wins, we ride. You know what I'm saying? We hype for the mullet and everything.
Cowboy.
Exactly. This one, I was just like, all right, okay. Very okay.
It definitely makes me... Like, it just adds on to the legend of Topuria. Like, when I see how ill, like, Volk was fighting, how his IQ and experience was showing, it's like, damn, and Topuria took him out. Yeah. And it took other, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. As much as we don't want to do MMA math, when you start looking at, like, who beat who and how they beat them, you're like, God damn, this guy.
He's really proving himself.
He is.
So, like, kind of second guess or, like, kind of like, whatever.
It's crazy without him doing anything. He's just like the legend grows. Like that's how you know that the wins matter because like
damn, like nobody's able to beat this guy unless you're Ilya.
Yeah, it really comes down to the point like, is the legend of Ilya Topuria growing bigger than the actual man and his capability? You know what I'm saying?
He's the definition of like aura.
Yeah,
like Plug. Johnny Tapia, Bad Boys 2.
Oh, okay. I was like, a real specific.
He reminds me of like a Spanish Plug that really like a cartel leader.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like the way like I'm not Versace
like the Wayans
shirts.
brothers in the first like 5 minutes of White Chicks like that. No. All right. I don't know. You said cartel leader. I don't know why my brain went that way, but
no, I think they were undercover cops.
They were undercover cops, but they were pretending to be drug dealers.
Oh, they were like,
what flavor's the ice cream? Vanilla. You know, like, oh, you got the stuff.
That's such a good scene to start the movie.
It's fantastic. The movie's amazing, bro.
But yeah, he definitely like Versace shirts and his son like.
Yeah, the clips of his son just getting really good in sharper boxing, you're like, that dude's going to be a problem in like 15 years, bro. It's a crazy thing for me of like somebody who's genuinely like wishing and like willing his legend into like existence. Like, I do feel it's not this unbeatable person. Though.
Right.
Like, as much as we're like, yo, Ilya Topuria, blah, 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 there's definitely going to be a time where he's going to come up against somebody that's going to check him, and it's going to be like, all right, there it is. I personally think it's going to be Islam. I do.
Honestly,
if that fight ends up happening, I think that's going to be the person that'll check him.
If anyone could do it, it's definitely Islam.
I'm not going to lie.
Also,
Armin Tsarukyan.
Armin Tsarukyan could too, bro.
Armin Tsarukyan.
People sleep. I think he's so nice,
bro.
I think he's like, there's the Islams, Topurias. And I think Tsarukyan's...
The gator roll scrambles on the ground. I was like,
man. But let's not forget, Topuria just likes to box. He's Georgian.
Yeah. You got that wrestling.
He got that wrestling, like, I want to say like Marab, but like, let's not be surprised. He keeps it in the cut.
That's one of those things. It's when it's quiet and it's away like that, I can't put too much weight on it.
Yeah,
as much as like people are like, yo, Justin Gaethje's wrestling.
Yeah.
Justin Gaethje, I never seen him not one takedown.
True, but who was who did he just fight?
Patty.
Yeah,
he did well. Takedown defense was
good.
Bro,
that takedown defense
That's what I'm saying.
Insane.
Because then you don't know that it's there until they show it. And then when
we're not fighting. Get up.
Yeah, he pulls it out of there. You're like, all right, okay, my fault.
My bad,
so if it does come down to the case where it's like Islam versus Ilya, and then Ilya is like, all right, you want to see him take down? Let's see. I'm going to show you Georgian wrestling is way better because that's been the whole beef between Georgia and Dagestan is like, whose wrestling is better? So
Rob has,
it's crisp.
Very crisp.
So I'd be intrigued to see how it plays out. But like we were saying at the beginning of this, like the MMA math of like who beat who and then them going off to do something crazy with Volkanovski coming off the knockout from Ilya and being able to get the belt back at his age and then also being able to just defend it the way that he has. It's impressive. It's very impressive.
Very impressive for sure.
I think that with him, I don't know. I've been seeing already online that people are like, oh, he's got like 2 more. He's got like 3 more. I think he's going to go until the UFC's like, hey, bud, no more. No more. You're done.
Yeah.
I really don't see him like falling off in the sense of like, who do I want to compare him to? A tie to Ivasa, unfortunately.
I do. Is that gonna start this?
Yeah, no. I get it. You know, we're gonna talk about it a little bit more later, but I gotta bring it up. But in the sense of like someone who's like 0-6 and just like, I got one more. No, you don't, bro. Like in my opinion, like you gotta really know when to walk away. When it comes to Volk, because I've so far, even with the losses, have seen him manage to evolve his game every single time he steps into the octagon. I feel that he will remain active for quite some time. Yeah. Even if it's a short amount of years, it's going to be multiple fights within those years. So far, he hasn't been the guy, since I've started watching the sport and known who Volkanovski is, he hasn't been the guy to turn down a fight, and he also hasn't been the guy to like be like, no, I need to take some time off. Let me, unless it was after the KOs, and even then, that's because they make you. Like, if you get knocked out, it's like 6 months, bro. You got to go away for 6 months. Doesn't matter. I don't care. So with him, I see him like 3 fights a year minimum, like at least 3 years more, least 3 years more. Because I just don't see who in the talent pool, besides it maybe going like a thing of going like back and forth between one guy or so. I really don't see him giving up the belt anytime soon in such a manner, unless an Ilya decides to come knocking on his door, or the topic I wanted to bring up, who's next for Volkanovski, if Arman decides to move down, because that's been the talk right now. Armin's talking about 145.
Say, bro, Arman going down, like, I'm just afraid that they're gonna like play him again.
I think
he's gonna go down and not get a title shot.
I'd feel so bad.
Well, first you gotta fight this guy down
I would feel so bad,
like, bro. And you're so close. Maybe take one more fight. Nah,
I just don't even. So this is where we're at right now. Right?
Like, are y'all gonna give me a fight? Nah, all right, I'll take another.
We are at a point where now we have Justin Gaethje's the interim champ, and we have Ilia Topuria, who's the official champ. Ilia Topuria is dealing with some stuff over there on the side. I don't know what's going on. He's got divorced, some other stuff. I don't. It's way above my pay grade. I have no idea when he's coming back. Nobody does. Doesn't seem White House-ish at all. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a surprise. It'll be the big fight on there. I think they're really trying to get that one on there, but. Along with that, it seems like the White House is trying to do some crazy stuff. Like the main event, they said is going to be a 1-of-1. So that could be many things. We can either have Ilia moving up or at a catch weight fighting in Islam, or we could have a John Jones versus Alex Pereira.
That's a big possibility.
Those are both what ifs.
Even though he was hating on John Jones for a little bit.
But with both of those fights respectively, everyone involved in those fights technically has another fight lined up. So where you have Ilia, you have technically a guaranteed fight with Justin Gaethje should happen because he's now the interim. But then you have Arman Tsarukyan, who's sitting there as the number 1 contender, allegedly, at least in terms of rankings. And he's just like, yo, where's my shot?
I've been here waiting.
For like 30 minutes and nothing.
You sent me freaking, who was it, Dan Hooker?
Yeah.
Fucking washed him.
Washed him immediately.
Like showed him like there's levels to this now. Give me my title shot.
And they're still not gonna. So you have him, he has the choice of either trying to wait for that whole situation to kind of figure itself out, or maybe he fights somebody who just won, like a BSD, or he just decides, I'm done with all this. I need and want a belt.
Yeah.
145. Immediate title shot. I think they would give him a title shot at 145. I think they're really going to punish him and be like, we just won't give it to you in this weight class.
It's crazy. It's like at some point, like, when do you sue them?
Yeah.
It's like you're doing this out of like spiteful, like you just don't like me.
Yeah.
Just because I got hurt.
Yeah.
Imagine you're like, at any other sport, like you get hurt in the championship. Now they're like, yeah, let's get rid of this nigga.
Because the worst part is that they don't hide it. I think everybody so far has been like, at the press conferences, Dana's pretty obvious, like, yo, I don't like him, bro. Hey, you got a shot. He decided to play ball, and he played ball wrong. Now he's over there. I don't tell you. Like, everyone's like, what do you mean by that? Like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean? People get hurt all the time. Why?
You're like, you just have that power. You could just be like, no, not you.
You fucked up my main event, man. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, he's really like, yo, you over there.
Who did he have replaced? Was it Moicano?
Yeah, last minute Moicano. Yeah. Which, honestly, I think amazing move.
Yeah.
As much as it was like, damn, this would have been such a dope fight, because I remember how excited we both were. We were like, this is going to be an insane spectacle of wrestling. We're going to see like really high level stuff. And then it was just like, nah, fall out like last minute. Who we got? Moicano. And I never remember the press conference with Moicano. They asked him, it was either the press conference or like maybe it was like after the ceremony or weigh-ins. They were like last minute you took this fight. Like, what is your game plan going into this? And he's like, I don't give a fuck. I cannot afford to lose. And the crowd loses their mind. It was, everyone knew he was going to go get killed. Yeah. But it was the energy he had. He was like, oh, yo, you're getting paid, son.
Yeah.
Because, yo, how much do you think he got paid?
A lot, because I haven't seen him much.
As much as we, listen.
Ever since then, I haven't seen him. I've seen him maybe one other time.
We're all very prideful, all right? But at the same time, if they going to cut you a check, be like, listen, what in the world? You're about to lose this title shot. Yeah. You took this on a day notice. We're going to cut you a nice check. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. He didn't take a dive. He had a fair shot, kind of. The only handicap I would argue is that he didn't have a training camp for this. But he had a shot. There was no funny business. It was you get your shot. You technically at that level, it should be whenever, wherever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like,
you're not on that tier.
It's not. He's not. You know. Hey. He got paid. Shout out Moicano, bro. Shout out Moicano.
He's not on that tier with the Toporias.
No.
The Tsarukyans.
Nah. But he'll get there. Money Moicano all day. I just feel with the whole mess at 155, I think it makes sense for Arman Tsarukyan to move down and fight Volkanovski. I feel like for Volk, he has a couple of fights in that weight class that are also lined up. And as he said at the end of or near his end of the press conference, he was like, listen, when it comes to my title reign, I'm not just going to take all these gimmicky fights as much as I'd like to. I think for him, it does bring value to have the rankings mean something and do right by his division, which I really respect him for. Yeah. So a lot of these dudes picking and choosing. And
I just don't like Tsarukyan to go down just to skip freaking. Like, Murphy's been waiting forever.
Well, now we have Lerone Murphy versus Movsar Evloev at a fight night. That's going to be for now the number one contender, even though technically, respectively, I would argue they each have their own turn earned for this. I will say this. Depending on how it goes, I think either guy, really, if they lose, they just need like one more, and then they'll get their shot.
They could lose and just disappear. Not disappear, but like...
fall in the weeds.
Like bro, you literally have a chance, and now, because it's crazy, like, when they have the timing... kind of messes things up sometimes. Like how like a Tom Aspinall got fucked out of a freaking championship for mad long, waiting on John Jones.
And it just happens to
Michael Chandler waiting on Conor, and little things like that where like this is Topuria situation.
Bro, the breaking news we got, I think it was like yesterday, Shavkat Rakhmonov went from number 2, almost guaranteed a title shot, to now he's unranked due to a second knee surgery, and now we don't even know when and or if he's going to come back.
Needs another year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Will he even be
a second knee surgery, so who knows what happened with the first one and how long he attempted to recover from that one, because it's been a minute since I've seen Shavkat.
But bro, what were you just like rushing into things like?
And the fortunate thing, this is a business of what have you done for me lately. Yeah. So even when you get injured or you have something coming up, even if it's family stuff, sometimes you got to put that stuff to the side and put your career first if you want to progress. When the time comes, you're going to be a Moicano that's going to take that 24-hour notice because, like, yo, you don't know when you're going to get a title shot. Right. If you're somebody that you're like, yo, I know I have at least 4 people I got to beat before I'm able to even get a shot near that thing. Yeah. And they're like, yo, it fell out. Everyone else is busy. You're the last person available. We need you tomorrow. I'm taking the shot.
Yeah.
You're going to take the opportunity.
You gotta.
So it's tricky when it comes to this stuff. Like, you really have to be opportunistic when it comes to this stuff. And when it comes to the rankings, they're there. They matter to an extent.
Yeah.
But I really feel like if you got enough like hype under your name, like it'll go your way.
At some point with Tsarukyan, I feel like the crowd, like he's gonna get his chance by popular demand.
I think at this point that's where it's starting to sway. I don't know what press tour he went on in these like 6 weeks.
I like
because like there was so many different people, medias, platforms, everything that you can think of. Like, he really hit any category you could go in media. He just popped up. Now he's becoming like I don't want to say a meme, but like people are like really enjoying his social media content when he pops up.
He's actually
like,
pretty
oh,
cool.
Armin's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. I think we always thought he was kind of cool. I think that like a lot of the fighters just gave him this like this rich boy over here. Ain't nobody trying to talk to no rich boy, but he's a really solid guy. It seems like so.
Hey, rich boy will whoop your ass.
He would. He would. Ask Dan Hooker, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like with him, I think he has the opportunity right now to either decide to wait and possibly fight one more and then get a title shot off of the strength of like the fans like rooting for him. But I think that he would have to either wait until like the end of the year if he wants to go that route, or he's gonna have to fight once more, or if the UFC decides that they want to go this route in terms of just a big fight, like huge stakes, cool implications, they give Volk Armin and they go that route if Armin's willing to cut down to 145.
That would be a good fight for the White House.
I think so.
They're not rushing.
I don't know. Oh, they're not really trying to. I don't think they're really going with the whole like full America. I think they're really trying to do the best fights they can without certain countries involved. Like Russia, as we've seen, is not allowed to be there for some reason.
That's what I heard, but I don't know.
I've been hearing a lot of weird stuff when it comes to like nationalities in the UFC. I want to say, I might be wrong on this, but I want to say it was Dan Ige. He's not allowed to wear red no more or something like that on his shorts due to his nationality not meeting qualifications to wear certain colors. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? Sean O'Malley's wearing pink. What are we doing? Who cares? So when I know that there's like political situations.
You are a Russian.
Yeah. I know there's like political implications on certain things. So I kind of understand where it's like, all right, we got like, tension with countries, why they may not want the implications of them beating one of, whatever. But I don't know exactly where they're going on this stuff when it comes to like putting these fights together, because I feel like with a card that's so big from the prelims going forward, like I think that each one has to be something special, even if it's just like I don't want to say no names, but even if it's like a ranked like 7th, 8th, or something like that, but they're just really high skilled level fighters. It's like you just know it's going to be a good fight. Like throw them on there. I think it might be something more like that, but I don't know if they're necessarily going to try to go with like a specific theme of like this country versus this country or anything like that.
And well, like the UFC, like compared to other sports, at least, like
if we're talking good fight, Armin and Volk, White House, fire.
Yeah, it definitely. But this sport is like one of the ones that like race is in the mix of it. Yeah. Like country nationalities or like.
Well, they took the pride you have with like the martial art that comes with it. You know what I'm saying?
So we got the British card, we got the Australian card, we got the. It's always like, so it's always gonna have chance of racism.
I think with that is more so like we want to put your guys on and we want to show you respect to like your spot. So like for example, this past card 325, it was on Australia. Every other fighter was Australian, but for a lot of those guys, they can't get all the way across the world so easy, or they can't get like book a fight like that. So for them, this is an opportunity for them to be on the card and to be able to showcase in front of their people. Because some of the people that were on the card were big names that were been there for a while. This may be their second or third time fighting in Sydney. Some other people, this is their first fight or maybe even a debut fight in the UFC. So it's a mixed bag. I think I agree with you in some aspects where like you can have some race tension when it comes to the UFC cards. And then, like I said, I really do think when they get into their like, their martial art, that plays a factor into it. Like I said earlier, Georgian wrestling is better than Dagestani wrestling. All right, now we're getting into some weird lines of like, are we sticking to wrestling or are you guys about to start getting crazy? Like, how far are we taking this argument here?
And I'm surprised, like, I know Muay Thai is more like a Thailand thing, but like, it seems like Brazilians have adopted Muay Thai and made it their own.
I think it's been a shared culture now at this point. It's the same thing with jiu-jitsu where you're seeing like jiu-jitsu as big as it is in like Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It's also a big thing in like Japan. So you get different versions of it. I think that's why it's like as much as it could be, I think it's just more so of like I think it's more political than it is race based, but who knows, man? I just hope that they kind of solve this, because right now I'm getting like 4 different weight classes that up top we're having some problems. There's a lot of jam happening up top. Right? Heavyweight garbage, light heavyweight doing okay. It's a little weird. It is weird. I think welterweight has just like too many options.
Chama's like keeps talking about going up.
Well, same thing with middleweight when we got Hamzat, who's also talking about it. He immediately got the belt. He's like, all right, where's Alex? It's like, what are we talking about?
It's like, bro, who's where?
What it is, like, what it is that people know off of like the entertainment value, like what is going to get them paid.
Yeah.
So when it comes to this is the same thing that Volk is basically said in his statement of, I want to do right by my division and fight either Lerone Murphy or Movsar Evloev, or I guess at this point whoever wins that fight. But whatever the UFC decides is what we're gonna do. The moment he says, "But whatever the UFC decides is what we're gonna do," that's how you know he says, "If Uncle Dana wants to go ahead and be like, yo, we're doing this instead. We're doing this instead."
It's such a the whole organization is such a dictatorship. It feels like a Dana White.
You know what it is? I really don't think so. I just think that Dana White gets put up as the figurehead. I think that there's a machine behind Dana that also is on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
They just don't get called out as much.
Yeah, he gets all the blame for it.
Yeah, because there are matchmakers.
He's the face of it.
Yeah, I really don't think that Dana White can just walk into the matchmaker, or the war room as they like to call it. He just pulls them and be like, nah, him. I don't even like him. I mean, like he might
Tsarukyan?
have I think he has like some say.
Yeah.
I think he's got like a, I'm gonna be honest with you.
The matchmakers hate
don't
him
really
just
like
as
that
much.
guy. Yeah, I think it might be something like that. Because you gotta think about it.
Like, nah,
you put in the time, the effort, and all the work into putting together a match, and then that person last minute on allegedly some fuck shit like ruins it all. You're going to be upset, too, because you got to understand, like, as much as it seems like that was Dana's decision to put that fight together, it probably wasn't. Yeah. He was just probably a part of it. And then the rest of the team was also like, yo, what the fuck?
How do I become a matchmaker?
They did it for a little bit, where they had fans become matchmakers.
Because, like, what are they? How much? They must be getting paid a good amount just to, like,
who knows, man?
Have, like, a solid career of, like,
this guy and this guy.
Easy.
Yeah,
I want this guy and this guy fight.
I always wondered, like,
UFC 5 all the
are
time.
you just a matchmaker, or do you do other stuff, and then this is like a part of your job?
Yeah, right.
I feel like there's got to be a little bit more
just
to that.
Doing, like, fucking accounting and shit.
To be fair, though, you got to think about it. Like, you're not just planning that week; you're planning the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
So it is consistently like, who's next? Who's next? Who's next?
He just dropped out. We got to change this. Fill this in. Bam.
Injuries, calendars. What else? If different weight classes. If people are deciding on whether or not they want to move up and move down, all that you got to consider.
How much money they deserve.
Yeah. It's a lot you got to consider. Place, time, location. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, I don't think now that we said it all, I don't think it's a job I want to have.
Yeah.
It actually seems very stressful, if you ask me.
Yeah, there's a lot of logistics. And
I think the moment I think with any job you've ever had, if you've ever had to make a schedule for something, you're like, bro. Here at the studio, where it's like, bro, like, and this is like simple stuff. There's only a few shows that run out of here. You know, we do our thing, but it's nothing like. Even then, or every now and then we get our wires crossed. So I couldn't imagine trying to do this for the entire UFC. Like, that's got to be a good team, hopefully.
Right.
For when it comes to this stuff, like I said, going back to the card, I really don't know the route that they go when it comes to the whole whatever the UFC decides to do, they decide to do. Because that right there, you can't put weight that they're going to give the winner of Lerone and Movsar a title shot right away, especially how active Volk likes to be. Volk said, that's the thing I will also, I enjoy that he said, whatever the UFC decides to do, they decide to do. But I will be active enough that I will also give that other person a shot. So that's also the confidence he has himself. But he's just like he's like, whatever they decide to go with, if Armin decides to be or is going to be the guy, cool. But after that, I'm probably still going to be good. I'll fight the other guy in 2 months.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I'm like, yo, shout out to you, bro. Yeah. Hey, like I said, he may be here for 2 or 3 years more, but I think he's going to be busy for those 2-3 years. I really don't think he's trying to take his foot off the gas at all. It doesn't make sense to. I will say, going back to his, getting knocked out and stuff like that, I think he just needs to play it smart and not overdo himself and not take anything on short notice. Bro, you're the champ. Relax.
He's to get a full camp in.
Yeah, and then you go ahead and you do your thing, but don't take unnecessary risks. I will say,
like Marab,
you are shooting for big goals if you're trying to move up and double champ and the whole nine. But it also seems like now they've kind of changed the rules on that. You can't hold 2 belts at once. So
I don't know why, but I can't see Volk going up.
I think it's because he's shorter than most.
Yeah, but I also Topuria I couldn't see at first.
I think with Topuria, I think there's still some 155ers that physically might be bigger than him. I think with him, it's just that, like, you've seen how sharp his skills are. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. The boxing alone is what gets you locked in. I don't even watch boxing like that, but I can tell that he's like, when you see somebody good at their job, you can tell.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
And when I see, like, as much as it pains me, when I saw him knock out Charles, I was like, bro, he's good.
Yeah.
That was the moment where I was like,
bro, the way he timed it, like, just the way he waited for that right perfect combo to just like,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. He does a good job, and that it's just you can see that translating to a certain extent. Now, I will say, like I said, he's not unbeatable. I do think that there's people out there that can't do it, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I was listening to the argument being made by a couple people. Him versus Justin Gaethje, if they're just standing there banging the ones, Justin, he's got a shot. He's got a chin. We've seen him get knocked up. He's got a chin,
bro,
and he will just keep going, bro.
Against Patty, bro,
I don't know.
How do you have no damage?
None.
After getting hit that many times.
None. He just keeps going.
Just a face of stone.
I'm pretty sure the most like messed up I've seen him, I feel like was really only he looked bloody, but it was more so the other guy's blood. I think it was the broken nose with Max. Even before then, I've seen him in a couple other wars, but I feel like, again, if you were to clean him up, you would realize he's not really like cut up like that. It's really the other guy that just got blood all over him. So like, it's more like that.
Yeah, no, true.
You ever want to just see something like, if you're ever in the mood to just see like Justin Gaethje like going crazy, and it's a hard watch. Him versus Tony Ferguson. That's when you're like, where it's empty apex COVID, and you're just hearing the thuds. You're like, bro. And that's just all his fights. This is just one of the only times you're able to hear it with like no audience. So you just hear what he's doing in there. It's crazy, bro. I don't know. Him versus Ilya could be really good. Yeah. We could be surprised, but I don't know. I think we all know how that's going to go with that one. I feel like you lean more towards Ilya. As much as you want to go towards Justin, I feel like you lean more towards Ilya.
Yeah, you have to. He would definitely just already know his patterns and wait for it.
For sure.
Find that.
I think for Volk, he's gonna just stay in his lane, and I think he might be done with the whole moving up stuff. Yeah. I don't even think it's like out of like a fear of anything. I think he's just like, you know what? I tried it. It didn't go the way I wanted it to. I'm just going to focus on cementing my career as a GOAT in this weight class, because he's already pretty much there.
I think the fighters that do that is stay their lane.
Yeah.
Their legacy, like, even though of course there are some, but like so many people do fail that, and if you don't get it done, like a Topuria just did, or like, then it kind of like hinders the legacy a little bit.
I think it's cool to move up and get another belt and be able to actually defend it. I haven't really seen that a whole lot, but I will say there is a cool thing with Amanda Nunes, who I like to bring up, who was able to hold both belts and consistently defend both belts. So that's something where I'm like, you got to respect that ability to do that, to go back and forth on the weight cuts and still be able to achieve something like that.
That's fire.
That's where I'm like, that's cool. But you're not able to do that anymore. Now the thing would be, you get 3 or 4 defenses in your weight class, then you move up, and then you get like another 3 or 4. Like, that's where you'll be like, yo. That's wow. Like, that's impressive. But right now it seems like, let me get this belt and let me immediately give it up and let me go get another belt. It's like, no. I don't think enough people will put weight on that. Shits. Yeah, bro.
You know what they be just thinking, like,
Valentina Shevchenko being able to close one of the rings or whatever, one of the octagon. I don't know what shape it is on the belt like that. Her being able to close a full ring on that, and now starting on another one, like the amount of rubies of title defenses she's able to get, that's so impressive.
That is.
Like, she's able to say, she's like, no, I ran this division for this long. Nobody was able to topple me except for like the 1 or 2 off moments that I had that I immediately got that back. Yeah. So I think it's cool to be able to do that. That's why I like a Pantoja. I put so much respect on him for like what he was able to do. Yeah. Granted, he had his circumstances with Joshua Van. We didn't get to see the full fight, but I think if we were to look at his career, we can still say that he's probably going to get that belt back at some point and can continue on that legacy of like
multiple titles. I'm trying to see Joshua Van go off like a real another fight. At least someone give him some freaking someone that he can just beat up real quick so I can enjoy the fight.
Just to hype up the name a little bit more. I get that.
Until Pantoja gets back.
I get that. And then just before we move on to the next one, for Diego Lopes, what's next for him? I feel like now he has to fight down. You got 2 shots. Now you got to give some other guys some opportunities. So now you fight down. I'd probably say 2 or 3 more if he has impressive wins. Another crack at the belt, sure. But he's going to fall into that thing with Max Holloway of like, all right, we've seen this enough. I think we're good on the fight. We can give us a little bit of a breather, and then we can get back to the trilogy.
Loser of Murphy and
he could. He could. I would say him versus Mosvar for him to get his like an actual camp to fight him, because I believe that was his debut fight. Was Diego Lopes. That was when I was like, yo, who is this?
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing him on the Contender Series, and I was like, yo, this guy's pretty fire. And then out of nowhere, I was like, yo, it wasn't even the hair for me. It's the crazy long sentence of a chest tat he's got. When I saw that, I was like, yo, that's the dude from the Contender Series. He just popped up going crazy against Mosvar.
You know when he caught my attention? When he got the dub, and then you seen him was the Mexican at the Sphere.
The Sphere, yeah.
And then he went to coach Alexa Grasso after.
Yeah.
I thought that was dope.
Yeah.
Like the same night.
He was like, yo, this guy's well-rounded.
It's like, oh, man, he's not even going to rest after getting punched in the face.
Resume's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Resume's crazy. Yeah, I feel like for him, for now, you got your 2 shots at the belt. You got to take a little bit of a breather. Why don't you fight down? I was looking at the rankings, and I feel like him versus Yair Rodriguez would be pretty good.
Yeah,
they got some beef. But I do feel like if he were to fight the loser of Lerone or Mosvar, I feel like either or would be a really exciting fight for him.
Yeah.
I just feel like he needs like 2 or 3 more before he gets back in there. But who knows if somebody else that's exciting pops their head up and then decides to go in there. Because now Gene Silva is getting some hype.
Bro.
But Diego already beat him, so then that's when you do the MMA math of like, does he get to skip him or like what are we doing? You know,
a little rematch. Does he deserve it?
I don't know. He got beat up.
I know.
He looked like a golf ball.
But I feel
afterwards.
like they're improving. The nerds.
Yeah, they all are getting their motion back. They're all getting back.
I like to see it.
Yeah,
it's a more exciting organization when they're. I like factions like that.
Yeah.
Like, remember WWE when they had like the Degeneration X and fucking
NWO.
Yeah, NWO. I love that.
The Hardy Boys. I get what you're going with that, but I don't know. I don't put too much weight on it. I like when it's a solid team and you see the coaches are like consistently with the fighters. I feel like when it's like the team like that, I don't know, maybe it's spread out too much. I also keep seeing new nerds popping up, and I get a little nervous when the team gets too big, because then I'm like, is the coaching as effective, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Too many people joining this gym.
Too many cooks, bro. Well, especially like they're called like the super gyms, like the ATTs and those ones. Like it's a lot of people. They have a lot of good coaches, but it's a lot of people. Like, are you really? Is the attention to the fighters really there?
Is there one with like the Australians? I've been seeing like Volk and like Izzy.
So Izzy fights with the New Zealand team, City Kickboxing. They do have a team of people that are out of there. I feel like they have to like cross train with each other, but I think Volk has his own team. Oh, okay. Funny enough, Rufy, one of the fighting nerds, actually went over there to go train with Volk for this fight. So he was in that camp. So
there was a little tension about that, right?
I wouldn't say tension. I think a lot of people put in the whole drama into the sport, where they're like, "Oh, when you training over there? Where you going over there?" Because you have seen it before, where like a fighter after a loss, they're just like, "Yo, I'm firing the whole team, and we're re-upping a whole other team," or they'll just go just one coach, or they'll just move completely to another place. I've been hearing rumors that he's been trying to come up to some team in New Hampshire. So who knows? I mean, if he's gonna go anywhere and he wants to come up here, I've been putting a lot of goodwill into Polino Cruz's team down in Connecticut. Him, Glover Teixeira, Alex Pereira, like that.
They're Connecticut?
They're Connecticut, bro. There's a bunch of Brazilians in Connecticut just in the cut.
I have to join the Brazilians.
Yeah, bro. They're down there doing their thing. I feel like it's always funny to me because I never think about it, and then every now and then they'll post a clip of them outside. I'm like, bro, they're in Connecticut. That's crazy. Like the snowstorm and everything. They got hit with that too. Like,
damn, man, that's wild.
Next on the card, we had Dan Hooker versus Benoit Saint-Denis. Yo, BSD. I knew it was up at least. I don't know.
What a turnaround for a career.
I think for him, he's just, he fights one way, and if he gets his way, he's gonna get that dub. But if you're able to kind of like maneuver it, then it goes somewhere else. And that's not me saying that it's like he's that good. I'm saying he's a one-trick pony, and if you can get around the one trick, then you should be good. But if you don't do your homework and you don't get around that one thing, man, you get what you get, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I sent you the meme of it. That was one where Herb Dean wanted to see him die. Benoit Saint-Denis was on his ass, for a while, and Herb Dean just didn't. He was like maybe like this close to Dan Hooker, and just was straight up like, "Are you good? You good?" Dan's just like, "Please stop the fight." He just didn't do anything.
If I was a ref, I'd be Herb Dean. If
he dies, he dies.
I'd definitely be like, Because all the times where everybody's like, yo, stop the fight. I'm like, nah, keep going.
Nah, keep going.
Let's see him actually, like.
If he dies, he dies.
Like, there's times where someone's just, like, clearly, like, all right, like, stop the fight. But then if they put in the tiniest bit of effort.
Yeah.
If you throw one jab in there, get killed. One little movement of trying to get, like, you're defending yourself, but you're trying to get up a little bit. Any little slight attempt.
Yeah.
Let them keep attempting.
I feel that that's the way that they do it. Some people just give them a little bit more time than others. Like, I'll say this, like, when they first got to the ground, you could see that Dan was immediately trying to, like, all right, let me try to, get out of here. Let me try to move my hands. Let me try to fight the hands. And then after that, he was just like this. Yeah. Doing this. And when you're like this for more than, like, I feel like 3 seconds. Because, like,
when you're not defending yourself at all.
You don't think about it, right? But, like, 5 to 10 seconds may not seem like a long time. But when someone's just dropping hammer fists from above on you, it's a long time.
It is.
A lot of you can get a lot of punches in 5 to 10 seconds.
I see a lot of ones like this where I feel like, let's say it'll be like a ground and pound pause, and then they're like not connecting a face. They're literally blocking.
Yeah.
On the ground, blocking, but not defending. Not like a lot of unanswered punches, but they really haven't connected anything. Yeah. And they'll still stop it because the dude hasn't defended.
It's because the guy hasn't defended himself and isn't trying to better his position. That's why they don't. That's why they stop it, because they're like, you're just here.
He's just hitting arms.
It's the same way like if they're on the ground and they're grappling and they're not really moving anywhere, they're not really. They're like, all right, stand them up. Like they're like, dude, this is not going anywhere. Yeah. So we need to stop this. So if they're in a position where it's like, all right, one guy is at least able to do damage and the other one is just accepting whatever happens, that's when they're like, hey, we gotta let's wrap this up.
Like, don't stop a fight if you're not damaging them.
Yeah.
Like if he's not doing anything but he's still blocking every one of your punches, let that play out. See.
Yeah. I think that this one was one where I wouldn't say a fair stoppage, but I wasn't mad at it. I just feel like, maybe Herb probably could have ended that a little early. Yeah. I don't think Dan was super hurt. Like, I'll say that. I don't think Dan was like, yo, ref, he's out. Like, he's clearly asleep, and he's just getting rained on with punches. I don't think it was a situation like that. But it was just one of them where, like, I remember vividly me being like, Herb. Because it happens. It happens, like, but also, like every fight with Herb, I'm like, yo, Herb. Like, I'm talking to him through the TV. I'm like, yo,
Herb, stop the fight.
He's just
like, would you rather, if you was a ref?
I'd rather that than them. I'd rather give them the time.
Would you rather be the one that you're, like, letting them freaking die, or would you rather be the one like, damn, why would you stop that so early?
I forget the ref's name, but there was a ref last year that like 3 fights in a row, they were like, yo, you called that kind of early for 3 fights in a row. Like,
bro, I would not want to be that guy where it's just like, this guy always stops a fight early. Nah. He sucks as a ref.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think most fighters would probably be like, nah, I'd prefer if they let it go. Like if they just
out of respect of like, because then you're ruining a potential. Stopping early is like, wait.
It could be weird.
You just gave him a dub.
It could be weird.
Sometimes.
Derek Lewis and Taliesin Teixeira of last year, I believe. Taliesin was up against the fence, remember? But he was like turned the opposite way. Yeah. He had his like hands up on the cage, and Derek Lewis was like kind of punching his sides, not really a whole lot. And the ref was like, all right, we're done. It's like, he could have just walked away from that. Like, he wasn't even in any trouble, really. Talking about it. Like, I think he would have been fine.
This ties was just
there's a couple moments where it definitely is a little weird, but I feel like for the most part, the refs, I'm trying to think on, like, we're going to go on, like, percentage. I feel like more often than not, they kind of call it early than they do, like, kind of let it go. Herb Dean's really the only one that I'm like, yo, Herb will let you die in there, bro. If you walk in there and they're like, Herb Dean's your ref, you're like,
you're doing it for the fighters. Like, think about the fighters, like, that lost, and they blame you. I hate seeing that.
Well, when they get up and they're just like, yo,
what the fuck?
Man, there's a clip. And
I wasn't even close to getting killed.
There's a clip, and if you guys that are watching, like, know who it is, just put it in the comments for me, because it is killing me right now. I cannot remember what it was, but there's one where like the fight was stopped real early, and it was Robbie Lawler, and he gets up and he's like super pissed at first. I believe it was actually with Herb Dean. He was like super pissed at first, and Herb was like, "I'm so sorry. I thought you were out. I thought you tapped. I didn't know." And he was just like, "It's not your fault, Herb. You were doing your job. It's okay." And he handled it like a professional. like a real professional. But at the same time, I was like, you can see how pissed he is. You can tell that like right now he wants nothing to do with her.
You should honestly really make sure you're correct on your stoppage.
Yeah.
Like maybe wait a little. All right, for sure.
And to my knowledge, I don't think that they can do like after they call it. There's no really like an instant replay. I think I've only ever seen once where it was like kinda they called the fight and then they were like, actually no, start it back up. Yeah, we were like,
that was the weirdest shit, bro.
Yeah, this is. I guarantee you, we look into that moment. It was Herb Dean. We should have put the Herb card up there, bro. I think Herb Dean deserves a permanent spot up here. Listen, as much as we're talking about, he's favorite ref.
Yeah.
I think every time I see it, and then my favorite thing is finding out that he did MMA for a little bit. Like he did fight in MMA for a hot second, and there's just Herb Dean edits that pop up in my feed every now and then of him just doing like amateur and like slightly professional MMA. I'm like, yo, shout out to Herb Dean, bro. Yeah, he's doing his thing. Dan Hooker took that L. He after the fight. Two really interesting call-outs, and I want your opinion on these. BSD, after his win, calls for the winner of the BMF belt between Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway, or whoever wins between Justin Gaethje and Ilia Topuria. Then you have Dan Hooker, who then calls for Michael Chandler for a rematch at the White House. Because remember, when Michael Chandler showed up to the UFC, he knocked out Dan Hooker. Which one is more ridiculous? Because I just don't even know. Out of the I guess the three options.
I think the most ridiculous.
I think they're all cracked.
They're all crazy.
I think they're all cracked. I don't think that any of the
BSD is wildin'.
BSD is like, I just beat Dan Hooker, title shot, baby, and everyone's like,
I don't know, because Dan Hooker just showed us he ain't shit.
Yeah, that's why I'm so confused.
He's like, bro, you really want to fight any of these motherfuckers right now and ruin this run that you literally having a good run.
I know.
Finally make some good like bread consistently getting like.
Yeah, you wanted to just get thrown away.
Just like that, go to the bottom.
So, and we were talking about him earlier. There is an Arman Tsarukyan. They both beat Dan Hooker. They both won a title shot. Technically, the title is somewhat spoken for.
Yeah.
Can match them up.
Give him Tsarukyan so Tsarukyan can show them again that he is clearly on a different, on a different
He's
level.
Like, dude, you don't understand.
But he's like this guy's out here freaking requesting Topuria and fucking like no.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can even make it past this guy that's been freaking blackballed from the UFC.
Yo, it's so funny, bro. I think that's gonna be a situation where like BSD's just gonna get, like you said, take the smart way, get a couple more easy dubs or something, or at least fights that like. When we look at the matchup, the line of betting is a little bit more even. I feel like if you put the name Arman Tsarukyan next to versus Benoit Saint-Denis, the line is going crazy towards Arman. Everyone's like, no, Arman's killing him.
But if it was like Dan Hooker and Michael Chandler, it's like, that seems like a normal fight.
To me, that's like, you guys, listen, I
think
it'll be here's my thing. It's tricky for me. I don't want to say that they don't deserve to be on the White House card.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna lie, that's the second, maybe third fight on the prelims?
Yeah.
Yo.
Just two Americans?
Not Americans. Dan Hooker is big New Zealand.
God damn.
He over there. He over there with them. He a Kiwi.
The tattoos.
Nah.
It's confusing me.
No, what do you mean the tattoos are that should be the look at the style of the tattoos. That should be exactly what gives it away.
I never looked at the details.
He's with Izzy and them in City Kickboxing.
That's right, man.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like it feels
Have
like
you heard Dan Hooker speak, bro? He's got an accent. It's there.
I think so.
You're like, I did.
Barely.
You're like, now that you say it, I did watch the press conference.
Yeah, after he lost the last couple fights, I definitely he's becoming a forgotten.
Yeah, I will say, I think Dan Hooker had the best style of call out. BSD, it was like after the fight in the cage, gets the microphone, gets to announce it, and then also in the press conference talks about it. Dan Hooker is beat to shit. I think he had an ice pack on like his head or like or somewhere on his upper body. He's holding, I think, a cheeseburger in his other hand. He's in the hotel room, clearly just down horrendous. He goes, Michael Chandler, White House, see you at the top. He was just like, you know what? After the ass whooping, give me Michael Chandler. Just whatever, bro. Like he's just so like, yo, anyone, anytime, any place, and that's why I respect him. Because even in defeat, he's like, yo, man, it is what it is, bro. Yeah. He's like, he even said going into the fight, he's like, you're gonna get your pound of flesh. Like if you guys want a war, you're gonna get it. Like someone's getting, got it. It's gonna be me.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a point where I thought he was maybe the next contender for
crazy.
BMF.
He was crazy. He still is.
Like
if anything, for me, even with the losses, Dan Hooker is building his resume as to why he should fight for a BMF belt. Like, here's my thing. Yeah. He strings together 2, 3 or so, like, really good wars, because all his fights for the most part are wars, unless the guy he's fighting decides to go wrestling, and then it's out the window. But if they decide to stand and strike with him, and it's like a good scrap, I think you can be like, yeah, Dan Hooker is clearly someone that I think right now you can argue, even with the losses, like the BMF belt. Listen, as much as it's like a cool thing, I don't think it guarantees you anything. I don't think you can hold the BMF belt and be like, I deserve to fight the champion, because like
I think sorry.
No, you go ahead.
But I feel like it brings value to excitement and entertainment. Yeah. And it should pay you more. If you succeed getting the BMF?
You called it, man, what was it? It was like a wrestling belt. The
grappling?
No. Like WWE. You called it like
the hardcore match?
Yeah. You referred to it as like the hardcore belt, or like the TV. It was just like one that was just like a gimmicky, like whatever belt. It didn't really have any. It wasn't the WWE.
It was the hardcore match where they have the freaking
barbed wire. It is truly like
the 4x4.
You're gonna get a nice check, but we expect violence in there. Yeah. But that's the weird part, because like you're genuinely signing up to put your body on the line. Like you're like, I know.
Like, you guys better not fucking submit nothing.
Yeah. Like, if you're submitting anything, it's a broken arm. I don't care.
I need full strikes at all times.
Because, like, even that's the thing when it comes to the Max and the Charles fight, where, like, listen, Charles has a lot of power. Justin Gaethje has said it himself. He's like, I have not been hit hard. It's someone who's gotten put out. He's like, I've never been hit as hard as I was by Charles Oliveira. I think that's going to be a good stand-up, like, battle. But if we're going to be honest, the bread and butter with Charles Oliveira, he's like, I'm going to take you down and you're getting submitted. But he's at least a little bit more like quick with it. He's not, I'm gonna hold you for a little bit, get you tired, and then no, he's like immediately going for the choke, and then if he doesn't get that one, he's gonna move over to the other one, he's gonna grab an arm, he's gonna grab a leg. So he's a lot more fluid when it comes to it. It's a little bit more exciting for the casual viewer to see on the ground. But I just like
that same weight class.
Yeah, it's all 155. If you just get put in that if you get put in a BMF fight, like I feel like legally you're not allowed to go on the ground. Like unless it's you getting slept, like I don't think you're allowed to go on the ground.
Unless you're literally just freaking trying to say it better.
you're like, how do I not pause in this sentence? I can see it in your face. You're like, everything that I'm about to say is gonna be pause.
It really ruins a lot of like train of thought.
It does. Because I'm gonna say it. I don't care. But no, you're right. Unless you take him to the ground and it's violent ground and pound, pause. You're not putting belt to ass, pause. Like it really is like boring to see for most people. Yeah, like it is the BSD TKO of Dan Hooker. You're on the ground, but you are raining strikes. Like you are not
raining strikes.
You're not. Yeah, you're not holding them down. You are just throwing mitts the entire time. There is no trying to get this position or anything like that. You're like, no, you're DC takedown, crucifix, raining punches and elbows until the ref pulls you off. Like there is nothing else. Like that I think is where it's acceptable. We just don't get a lot of that. Yeah. That's why I say when it comes to the whole wrestling thing, I like Khabib. I like like a bear. You're getting taken down and you're getting mauled. There is there's not like all due respect to your boy, it's not like a Umar who's more so like, or a Marab who's like, I'm getting number of takedowns and it's just controlling you the whole time. Yeah. It is like, nah, bro. The moment your back touches the canvas, pray to God. Like, it's over for you.
The thing with Umar is like, he's so, compared to his other Dagestanis.
His family tree.
Yeah. They're just way strong. He's so like little that it's like, he can't like, ooh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, wrists, you ain't going nowhere.
I think
he's very finesse.
Yeah, he is strong, but I think you're right. I think that when you go up against a Merab who, like, you know, looks like a brick shit house at 135 pounds, you're like, I get you. You can't really do what they did. I get that. But, yeah, because I don't think people were prepared for, like, the type of wrestling that could be bad for him. Yeah. You see Khabib just, like, take someone down, and you see, like, as they're going down, you see the back muscles. You're like, that guy's done, bro.
Yeah, bro. You got a
bear,
whole freaking, he's like a bear holding on to wrist that you can't.
That's what the
you
joke
know when a kid where you're like wrestling with like a nephew or something, and you got their wrist. And
they get one clean shot, and after that you just grab the hand. You're like, you know, now you ain't doing nothing.
Yeah,
just like, yeah, I get what you mean. That's kind of how it is, bro. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's more like that, I think that's what people would get excited for wrestling. But other than that, you don't really get a lot of like explosive takedown followed by ground and pound. Pause. But every now and then you get somebody that comes along that's their style. Like I would say, like Curtis Blades, his wrestling is like that at the heavyweight. His wrestling has always been like.
Nice to see someone start slamming niggas again.
Yeah,
like really just like power bomb.
You know what it is that everyone's like all right at like takedown defense for the most part. It's a little bit harder to get like yo, this person just got. I think
Rampage.
Yeah.
Like when he tried to get him on an arm bar or
it was triangle choke, and he picked him up and power bombed him. Yeah,
just dropped him like.
It was bad. It was bad.
All arm strength.
All of for me, it's all of DC's highlights. DC's highlights are usually him picking up some guy who weighs like 260 pounds and just dumping them on the head like a baby. You're like, this. What are you doing, bro?
Was it Leon Edwards?
He got dumped.
Yeah, right.
That photo is.
I forget who he was fighting. Bilal,
Bilal dumped him. Merab is the only person I can think of that's been doing anything like that. Like he picked up and carried Henry Cejudo across the octagon. Yeah, he did that.
He did that to Peter Yan, right?
Yeah. Damn. He'd be dumping people. I'd say Merab is the only one that I can think of when it comes to wrestling is like scoop you up and then you're going for a ride.
Yeah.
Like,
y'all fall off. All your limbs.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like, yo.
The grown-ass man being picked up is crazy.
On my feed is all fight stuff, so when I get judo videos, judo is crazy because judo is nothing but like you're getting flipped, you're getting slammed. It's bad. That's impressive. I feel like, I think Merab's the only person I can think of off the top of my head that's really to that level of wrestling that's doing that. Other than that, it's like, good takedowns, but it's like single leg, double leg, or it'll be like a trip or something like that off the cage or off the fence. It'll maybe like get you, but like I don't really see like near center octagon, scooped up in the air, flipped over. Not a whole lot. All right, moving on. Rafael Fiziev versus Mauricio Hufi. Back in business.
Back in business.
Yo,
another nerd.
Fighting nerds, doing it up. Like I said, in this case, I guess it is Nerds v Australia. Like he went that route. He trained with Volk and them, but I guess he's back. Not what I expected with the fight. I like I said in last week's, I put Fiziev to be able to do more work. I just expected him to be a little bit more, I guess, like powerful and explosive like he usually is. But I feel like in this case, Rufi did a good job of like stumping him, man.
He's very fluid with his striking. Like every time I see him fight, I can't not think about the freaking spinning heel kick. That's still my favorite. Like he's like, because it was so clean. It felt like a not a video game, but like
I would say like a video game. I feel like he fights like when you unlock the cool moves in UFC. That's how he does it. I think for him, the best way you can describe him is a sniper. Like that's the tricky part when it comes to those like strikers that are like that, like a Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and such, where they're really good when it comes to that. You let them get their distance, it's a problem. You let them get to pick their shots.
He definitely did a good job like keeping his distance and like striking accordingly.
Yeah, but when you get somebody that's more on the wrestling side, that's when it becomes a problem. That's why we saw in his last fight against BSD where we were like, yo, he looked like a shell of himself. We were ready for a war between those two, and BSD was like, I'm going for the takedowns. I'm not letting this man get like, what do you mean spinning heel kick? I'm not getting anywhere near that. So when he went for the
reach
takedown,
me across the whole ring.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. So he found the right way to go about it. And he's like, I'm going with the wrestling aspect of it, and he was able to dominate him. So for this one, that's why I was like, yo, when it comes to like these two guys, I know that they're gonna more be strikers, but I felt like Fiziev was more on the veteran side of things. I feel like his experience with Muay Thai, I felt was going to show a little bit more. But I think Rufi just kind of handled him.
I don't really like Fiziev.
I get that.
Not even just off of this fight, what we just saw, But prior,
Yep.
maybe personality-wise,
I can see that. I think right now he's getting out of his shell a little bit more. I think that we're starting to see him more on like socials and stuff. So maybe things will turn around for you. Who knows?
it's funny because like I be just picking favorite fighters off their character.
Fair.
Like I don't even judge off their fighting sometimes.
For me, with Featherweight, I think I just kind of enjoyed his striking a lot, especially because like he's been in like some fights where you're like,
he's
yo,
very good. Like
he puts in work and he's like very strategic with it, and I like that he's very like Muay Thai dominant style. I think for me that level of striking is what I enjoy to see more. That's why I like a Carlos Pratas. I like that kind of style of striking.
Yeah.
I like that like, yo, we can keep this distance, but if you want to get close, like you expect an elbow to the mouth that you're not even gonna see. It's gonna be a step in and you're gonna be like, whoa. Those moments I really enjoy, and I feel like Featherweight at that weight class, he's very good at that like style.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you, in terms of his character, whatever he gives out at the press conference is all I really see. Other than that, I
don't ever see.
I don't tune into Featherweight content
it's like
that.
a quick little judgment.
Yeah,
it's like nah. Fuck with him.
For this one, I think it's kind of where I started the show, and I was saying where like there wasn't a lot of like weight on some of these fights, and I think for this one, this is one of those. For Rufy, it's nice to see him back in the win column after his loss, but I will say, the BSD loss was such a big flaw in his game where you're like, oh, you just got to take him down. That is tricky for me to be like, yo, we're back on the wave to the title. We go. Nah.
Who would be next for him?
I think that he has a good amount of people he could fight, but I think that he right now low key might stay fighting down. I don't know if he necessarily is gonna fight up.
Yeah, because you wouldn't have a fight BSD again.
No. I think it's BSD at this point is gonna end up moving up because it wouldn't make any sense.
Dan Hooker?
Let me look at this.
You
could do Dan Hooker. That's 8 and 9 right there. You can have him now. See, here's the worrying part: it's the wrestlers, because then you got Mateus Gamrot, who's also there. Paddy Pimblett.
I don't want to give him wrestlers.
You wouldn't. I think Paddy Pimblett would also wrestle him, but I think him and Paddy Pimblett would be a good one.
That'd be a great fight. But I don't want to give him a wrestler.
Because right now,
you know, we like the Alex Pereira road to success.
Yeah,
that's what I want to give Mauricio.
It's really tricky because I'm gonna be honest with you. So he's sitting at 9, and then the only available people as of right now that I can think of would be Dan Hooker, Gamrot, Paddy Pimblett. Other than that, everybody else is somewhat spoken for. Because then you have BSD, who's technically calling up, and he just beat him, so they're not going to do that one again.
So and then Paddy just
Max
lost.
Holloway, Charles Oliveira, Armin Tsarukyan, Justin Gaethje. All the other ones are already taken. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like for him, he's either fighting down, or I guess you either give him Gamrot or you give him Paddy Pimblett. You could do Dan Hooker.
You could do just one more. I need one more good dub.
That one would be a good, you just want to make sure he gets another win with a striker, give him Dan Hooker.
Yeah. And then maybe a Gamrot or Paddy Pimblett. Because to be fair, Paddy Pimblett and him are – that's a fight that can probably sell.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
I think Paddy at this point we've kind of experienced he can just sell off the strength of his name alone. I don't think he needs a whole lot.
Mauricio is they're starting to be a very popular group of fighters, these guys. So I feel like it would be a good I don't know.
I think that one is the one that sells the most, but I think that people have other plans for Paddy. I don't know. I've been hearing rumors. I've been seeing videos. Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
That's what I've been hearing. I don't know.
What's this rumor that he pulled up to his crib?
I don't know, man.
Pull up to his crib yo, come outside.
I don't know, man.
And he wouldn't come outside on some high school shit.
That's crazy. That's crazy people behavior. That's why I'm not going outside.
People still do this?
Nah, I'm not going outside.
30 years old,
He's a psychopath. From what I've been told, though, it seems like Conor's back in camp and he's getting active to try to be on this White House card bad. So
I haven't seen no
Paddy versus Conor at the White House, that's been thrown out. Conor versus literally anybody else on the card has been thrown out. So I genuinely have no idea who's going to end up fighting, but I don't know what's going to happen with Paddy. I think that's what I'm saying when it comes to that top of the division right there. A lot of moving parts, man. A lot of moving parts.
But it's closer than we think.
It is, for sure.
So they need to figure this out quickly.
Yeah, I think we'll figure it out maybe March. They'll have at least a rough draft of some of the fights, but I don't know if they'll necessarily. I think the main event might be a surprise. Or they might have to announce that one off rip to really get people to buy in. But it's supposed to be a 1-of-1.
Then everybody starts buying tickets ahead of time.
Yeah. Well, even then, I don't know if they're going to be selling tickets to the public. I think it really is going to be like political and military people only.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's the White House.
WWE used to do that. They used to pull up in like Afghanistan. And
I always loved those, bro.
Yeah.
I saw the
do a show for the
to this
troops.
day. SmackDown versus Raw, 2008. You can go and you can fight over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's sick. I think it's sick
For the troops.
Yeah, 2008. I think 2009. You could do the same thing. I don't know if they did it in the other ones. I think maybe 2011 you could do it as well. Yeah. Those are good ones.
Some fighters were saying they don't like that. Like having like I'm just gonna go out there and fight for these freaking like fighting for Julius Caesar.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's kind of what it's like.
Not even for the public. This is strictly for the freaking.
Yeah. I think you got to look at it in the same way. I think depending on who the fighter is, they'll put some, like I think Justin Gaethje would be like, I would be honored. You know, I think you put a little bit more respect on it.
Sean Strickland says
he would love it. Yeah,
Sean said the opposite.
Really, he wouldn't want to.
He said, I don't want to be out there fighting in front of these pedos or something like.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what.
That sounds exactly like something he would say though. That sounds
like I'm not fighting for the public. I'm fighting for these freaking politicians and.
He showed, I know we've been on the subject of Armin Tsarukyan throughout the episode, but Sean Strickland recently showed respect to Armin. He's like, yo, you rich, but you're fighting, and I respect that. And I was like, all right.
Yo, because
I feel it's weird, but the tip of the cap from Sean Strickland, for some reason, everyone's like, okay.
Bro, if Sean Strickland is respectful towards you, you are, like, I feel like you really earned respect in general.
Which is weird, because I think a lot of people don't put a lot of, like, care into what Sean Strickland thinks or says, but at the same time, like, he gives a nod. You're like, okay.
You don't just respect anyone that easily. It's just like you really earned that respect.
You did. To close out on this one, at least for Vazeev, I think he's no title shot. I think he's journeyman. I think he's about to be gatekeeperish. I think he's kind of in that spot where like he really needs to turn a corner and to at least like maintain his position in the division, but I really don't see, unless he really 180 some shit. I don't know if he's gonna necessarily get to that title shot anytime soon. And speaking of someone who's never seeing a title shot ever again, Tai Tuivasa versus Taliesin Teixeira.
Man,
I'm so sorry, bro, but Tai, he was doing good. He almost got him.
He sold us good. He sold us real well. Like,
he's right there. He almost got him. But
I'm back in shape. Like I had to be away from it so I can love it again.
I locked back
I get it. When you're doing the same thing every single day, you're training bro, you kind of get like bored of it. You kind of lose love for it.
Yeah.
So sometimes you do need to take a step back and just kind
of. Well, also for him, like some things just weren't working. Like I don't know if it necessarily ties into that. Maybe he started feeling that with the first couple losses.
He said he needed to miss it.
I think in the last episode I said I looked it up and I thought he lost 4 in a row. It turned out it was 5 in a row. Now it's 6 in a row. Like that's bad.
Well, that's real bad.
That's real bad.
And but I blame the UFC and the heavyweight division.
How?
For keeping them ranked after 5 losses.
Bro, there's no heavyweights.
Bro, but if you see a fighter, right, loses 5 straight.
Yeah.
He goes from 260 to 400 pounds.
Yeah.
And you see a picture, it's like, bro, he's done. How is he still ranked 12? He was ranked higher than the other dude.
Yeah.
12 to 15. Yeah. How?
It's because the heavyweights suck. Anytime that like
were you number 1?
I would argue most of the heavyweights get a little bit of motion and immediately get sent right back. Yeah. Like once they get to the next person, like they'll get a good win onto the next and then get shut down. Yeah. And then they get sent right back.
I don't get it. Like how were you number 1 contender for you to lose 5 fights and still remain 12 is crazy.
It's because they're that bad.
Yo, that bad. Nuts.
That's what I'm saying. The rankings really don't make a whole lot of sense.
He was like around like 5-ish, 4, 6 maybe.
Yeah.
You only move that many.
Because, I'm telling you, like, when you look at the people that are around him in terms of rankings, like, a lot of them, they might have moved up and then immediately moved right back down. Like, it really is that bad. That heavyweight that's been popping up on the scene, what's his name, Josh Hokic, the dude that was wearing, like, the bandana that gives the crazy, like, post-fight.
Yeah.
Give it 4 or 5 months. He's ranked 5.
Yeah, 100%.
I promise.
Look how fast Waldo freaking became a superstar.
Listen, Waldo is doing the work. Yeah. He's getting the wins, but we're not going to act like in the last, 3 months, that's what got him a possible title shot.
Yeah.
Like, the 2 wins into the Derek Lewis win, that right there is what did it. Just the fact that he got, like, he could have literally not had all the other wins, because remember, there was a lot of them. He could have not have had any of those other wins and just been like, yo, this random Dominican heavyweight just pulled up on a 6-week notice and knocked out this dude. And then they could put him against Derek Lewis, and he just beat Derek Lewis. Give him a title shot. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the rankings. It doesn't matter. Heavyweight is so bad right now. It just, there's no big names. The names that are there aren't doing the best. And the ones at the very tip top aren't fighting.
Yeah, right.
John Jones is nowhere to be seen. And Tom Aspinall is getting both of his eyes removed and surgery done and put back in. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's gone for a little bit. He's going to be MIA for
after all that time. You go figure.
We're about to give Cyril Gane and Waldo an interim champion fight. That's what I think is going to happen, personally.
How Cyril Gane has become this guy? It's crazy.
He got fraud checked really hard. And then from there, it's just been terrible. That's what happened. It was Francis and then John Jones, right?
I think so,
Yeah, he got wrestled by Francis with bad knees, and everyone was like, you got beat by Francis Ngannou, the guy who hits as hard as you getting run over by a Ford truck.
Yeah.
You got beat by decision, and he wrestled you for 5 rounds? Like, that already was like, that's horrible. John Jones, one of the greatest to ever do it, beat you in 90 seconds?
Bro, barely trying.
Barely trying? He's like, I wasn't even really in the flow state. I just got the heavyweight. I don't even know what I'm doing. It's my 3rd day out here. Like, you get what I'm saying? Where you're like,
getting used to this new heavyweight body.
He almost got beat by Ty. Cyril Gane almost got beat by Ty.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Ty was like 2 or 3 power shots away from getting there, and
that's why Waldo needs to be champion, because this is freaking.
We got to clean it up. Once Waldo is sitting at the top, everything will figure itself out. I think that's the problem that we're having. There's not a Dominican in charge.
It got to be, especially heavyweight.
Yeah.
What an honor.
Yeah.
Back in the day, heavyweight was the only division that mattered.
Yeah.
not like in UFC only, but like in boxing, Muhammad Ali.
I would argue,
Mike Tyson's,
I think it's the one that still gets people going.
Yeah.
If you tell somebody there's a crazy heavyweight fight, like in boxing, they're gonna go. People that don't watch boxing tune in for a big
Anthony
heavyweight
Joshua,
moment.
Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
Fucking Fury and
dude, I was listening to I'm trying to think of what the podcast was, but they were talking about, like, now granted this is before I was watching, but they were just listing the names of people who were fighting in the UFC at heavyweight around the year of, like, I think it was like 2013, 2015, and they were everyone, like, I'm talking like 1 to 15 were a name of note, like someone that you would know. Yeah. And then you go to now 1 through 15, you're like, I know maybe 4 of them.
Crazy, man.
Like the rest of them, I'm like, who? Because they literally will win and then lose and then win and then lose. So, like,
everybody's just equal.
The chains don't move a whole lot. Like, once that person gets to a spot where you're like, you just need this one more, and it's a title shot. Yeah. They don't get it. That's why I think you're going to start seeing a lot of, like, rank 6 is fighting the champion. Rank 8 is getting called up to fight the champion. Because it doesn't make any sense.
For Tai Tuivasa, I think he should have.
He says he's got one more in him.
He should have put his gloves down, one last boot, beer in the boot.
In front of the crowd,
even with his loss.
Yeah,
because you're in New Zealand.
No, they were in Australia.
Where's he from? New Zealand.
That's a good question.
He's over there, bro. And like,
I think he's Australian.
Yeah,
I want to say Tai Tuivasa is Australian. He's Australian. Yeah, he's Australian. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he must be, because like.
Now I immediately my brain went to like the screen of playing UFC 5 and him walking out and what's displayed, and it's the New Zealand flag.
Yeah, like,
not New Zealand. Sorry, the Australian flag.
Yeah, it's like you need. This is the best place for you to retire.
Yeah.
Like, sorry guys, I gave it my all.
Nah.
One last boot.
One last boot for the crowd, and I think they would have given him the moment. I think it would have been fine. I think he would have been good.
Like, you lost all that weight.
Updated rankings. If this makes you feel any better, he's now sitting at 15.
He just swapped. Did he just swap?
No, they dropped him down.
No, did the other guy go to 12?
Yeah.
He just swaps it.
I told you. Like, I don't know what you thought was gonna happen. That's what I'm telling you. Like,
6 straight losses, still ranked.
Yeah,
ain't that some shit? I might as well sign up.
I think you could do well,
bro. Even though, like, if I did go through all that training, I don't think I'd be a heavyweight.
He's from Kingswood, Australia.
Oh.
There you go. Yeah, I think I
just cut weight so much by accident.
With heavyweight, the problem that they have is in terms of at least the UFC and MMA. I'm gonna say as a whole sport, because I don't know if there's other heavyweight fighters and other MMA organizations that are making money like that. I just think the money isn't there. So when you're a big heavyweight, you're like football.
But
You go into other sports like you just.
Where are the heavyweight Russians? There was always heavyweight Russians in boxing.
I think that they just get paid more to do other stuff, bro. Yeah. Like low key, I think that I'm seeing like the sport of wrestling is on a come up right now. So like I don't know, man. I think you just go a different path. Especially like we looked into it. I think it was the last Summer Olympics where we were looking into like what each country like will pay like the people that are like participating in the Olympics. You don't necessarily get paid like that, but they hook you up with stuff like. We give you like
for winning the gold medal.
Not even, bro. Like here they give you like pocket change because they know that the sponsorships and the endorsements and the marketing is where you're gonna get a lot of money from. Yeah. In other countries, like I think we looked it up in Russia, like you get paid out, you get land, you get like So like if you're really good in a mixed martial art, which is something that they put on a pedestal over there versus like us who puts like more so like baseball, football, basketball. True. You know, like you would lean more towards into just the discipline of that because you'll probably make more money. On our side, where we're like, why don't those heavyweights come over to MMA? They're not because they're like, yo, we're not. What are we getting paid, bro?
Bro, honestly, I know it's a lot of politics and all this, but let the Russians back into the Olympics.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm trying to see.
You're. I think you're able to go. You just can't represent the country of Russia because I remember that was a thing too. Because there was a lot of people that had like the undeclared flag. Or I don't know what the they call that like symbol, but it had like a globe and it's like grayed out.
That was when they were like the wrestling, the boxing, that Russians, the hockey.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's in the Winter Olympics.
Miracle on Ice.
Yeah, bro. Those were different times. There was a good competition.
Mm-hmm.
When you're taking out a big powerhouse in competition like that, kind of like waters it down a little bit.
Yeah, I think like you always say, sports are how we should solve all our political problems.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? I think that might get into some dangerous territory of like, are we testing or not?
Yeah, that's the closest we'll get to world peace. I always say.
If we're testing, then I don't know if we're winning, but if we're not testing,
yeah, right.
Who knows?
If every country in the world, that's the only time everybody stops and just world peace.
Yeah,
is when the Olympics is going on. You never hear, well, God forbid, but like you never hear of like, oh shit, they fucking bombed this during the. You know what I'm saying? I think there was a situation. Yeah, but that was light. But like
that was light. It's crazy.
No, but it's not like
mark that.
It was like it's not like a whole war started.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? Like a whole fucking battle of fucking. Everybody got to evacuate the Olympics now. There was that scare of. Was it not the Redeem Team? I forget. It was the basketball. But they were like. I think it was around the Middle Eastern wars and stuff like that. I forget, but.
I do think it's weird that then sports takes a hit when it comes to like some political stuff, but I don't know, man. It's a weird that, like I said, it's one of those things that's above my pay grade. But I agree. I feel like
let's settle this with a good foot race.
Yeah, man, a good foot race, 100-meter dash. We'll get after it. We'll figure it out. I wonder what they'll do with that because like it goes back to like we were talking about earlier with the White House card. Like so far, it seems like Russians aren't allowed to be on there. So like we don't know.
That's what I'm talking about.
We don't know what's going on. And then it's crazy because at least in this organization, some of the best fighters are Russian, or Russian affiliated because I think that's a part of it too. I think you can't be Russian affiliated either.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a weird thing. And then to round this off, it'd be Kulin Sal. This name always gets me, bro. Sal killed. I know, right? Just Kulin Sal kid submits Jamie Malarkey. I knew what this one was.
Malarkey.
It was so funny. We're chilling at the crib, and shout out to Ivan. Ivan just sees the name Malarkey. Yeah. Lost his mind. It was like, that's hilarious. I'm betting $80 on this man right away.
Did he actually bet the $80?
He lost $80.
Damn.
He bet it, and I want to say like maybe 10 or 15 seconds later is when he got submitted. And Ivan just turns his head and looks at me. He's like, bro, you're joking. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Who told you to put that bet? Hey, I put my picks out.
Think about
Jamie Malarkey was not on my picks list.
That's why I stopped really betting in general.
Yeah.
Because that would always happen to me.
Yeah.
They're right there, like just like that. Oh, $80. Oh, just like that. Fucking money's always lost. It's just like, bro, they would have won if I didn't put that money on.
It's so funny. I saw a video. Saw a video earlier that was just like, you know how you know you're bad at gambling? You haven't been kicked off of gambling sites yet. That's how you know you're bad. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. They just be taking the money, bro. I found it like really funny. I find that I definitely haven't. I couldn't tell you the last time I put actual money on a fight. I be saying it all the time. I'm like, I'm throw 5, I'm gonna put that, but I never actually do it.
I always forget.
I put the picks out, and the picks will do well, and I'm like, every time I'm like, damn, should bet. I'm like, I get the main event and the co-main right. I should throw. There's no 5. Why not?
No, this times was just like.
Or crazy underdog. I'll be like, oh, this person, I think I'll actually get it done, and they actually get it done. I'm like, bro, I should have. But it is what it is.
UFC's the one that humbled me. The other ones, I was getting some dubs here and there, but UFC will humble me every time.
It's because I feel like it's the sport you really never know what'll happen, especially if you have somebody that like is fighting that has power on their side, because that person could skill-wise be nowhere near match the other person. Be like, but if they get that one punch.
Sometimes it's like, I don't really like parlays because they lose a lot, but
you like when they pay out?
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm. But the one-on-ones, I would like a good, like, who's going to win, him or him? Yeah. I never win them shits.
I think I'm usually, like, fairly okay with, like, rough guesses. But when it comes, that's why the show, like, listen, I understand, like, the joke is always there. I always find it funny when I see it in, like, comments and stuff like that, where they're just like, these guys clearly don't know what they're talking about. Bro, it's literally in the title. It is to inform the audience.
Who's saying that?
Immediately. The people you are about to watch have no clue what they're talking about. Like it is a warning label, parental advisory. You feel me? But like I don't know, man. A lot of that stuff's above my pay grade, bro. I don't know.
Well, whoever said that, fuck them too.
Yeah, I like it, bro. I find that it's like you gotta like call stuff out all the time. I feel like especially when you see something online or you see somebody talking something, you're like, oh, that's not true, or that's why I tell people, like, if I say,
don't know who they're talking.
If I say
you're a robot,
you're a robot. You're not even real. You're AI.
You're real fucking.
If I say a year, a date, or time, or something like that, and there's somebody that can correct me, you'll let me know, because I'd rather be like correct on it going forward than like stumbling over some nonsense and being wrong. Because there's nothing worse than like looking dumb, bro. Like I feel like I hate when I'm just like, I'll say something where I'm like confident in it and it's wrong and no one says anything. Yeah. Because then I just will consistently keep saying that one fact or that one thing. And it's like you say a word wrong and you've been saying it wrong your whole life. And then one person calls you out and you're like, I've been saying that word for the last 20 years. Yeah. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I
see one like recently though.
What do you mean it's like not whined? I've only seen that word written.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There was one recently that I saw that was just crazy to me. It's like, damn, you've been saying it the wrong way the whole time.
Soliloquy. I don't know, man. I think that this is one of those things, bro, where you just gotta you let them rock. I always enjoy it. I'd rather people be chirping than not saying anything at all. Yeah. At least that's my opinion.
100%.
Going forward for the month of February, we have all fight nights. This paper. They gave us the back-to-back pay-per-views or PLEs. I really need to get in the habit. I don't know. They gave us 2 premium events. I'm gonna just say premium. I feel like that's the way we go with it. They gave us 2 premium events back-to-back, and the rest of it's gonna be fight nights. Now, that being said, we got some good fights on these fight nights. Now, when it comes to names in terms of casual viewers, you might not be that tuned in and that locked in, but I'm gonna go off of them anyway. All right. So this upcoming Saturday, I'm gonna just list this off real quick before we go. We got Mario Bautista versus Vinicius Oliveira. Good scrap. People will sleep on Mario Bautista. I know he has a lot of controversy around his name over the Jose Aldo win. He's not the most exciting guy in the world, but like he's a good fighter. I say watch. Vinicius Oliveira was one of the guys that almost got KO of the year last year off of the flying knee on the cage when the dude was like already done and he was like walking away because he was like already hurt. And Vinicius just caught him with a flying knee and put him to the shadow realm. So I think it's gonna be a good scrap. Amir Arbazi versus Kyoji Haraguchi. This one's a good one because Kyoji is someone who I think is going to be a threat for Josh Van and Pantoja. Okay. So that's one I want you to tune in to watch him and see, like, you're like, yo, is this guy? Is he going to put a threat?
I'm a big fan of the Asian fighters.
That's why I think you're going to lock in.
I always hope that they win.
I feel like you got to start watching like the road to the UFC stuff when it's just like we just got a gang of Korean fighters and they're just trying to get a title shot, like or not a title shot, they're trying to get a contract. I think you'd like that stuff. Jailton Almeida versus Rizvan Kuniev. Wow, I'm shocked I got that name right. Jailton Almeida is another one of these heavyweights, bro, that I feel like he fell off hard.
Right, that sounds familiar.
Oh, man, this name. Every time I see it. Michael Oleksiejczuk, which is not spelled out all like how it's
Damn, bro, you just killed it on
versus Marc-Andre Barriault. Let's see.
Bro, you're speaking a different language now.
Gene Matsumoto versus versus Fareed Basharat. And Dustin Jacoby versus Julius Walker. I say this one's...
that's Johnny Walker's brother, right?
I say... No. That's another Walker, though. Watch him be Brazilian, too. Why is Walker Brazilian? I'm going to Google it after the show. Everyone tune into the fights. I feel like when it comes to us saying don't sleep on the prelims, it's the same thing goes for don't sleep on the fight nights. Like you will get guys who you may not know their names and you may not have heard of their careers or their stats, and then you're gonna see one of the most amazing fights you've seen in the entire year for two guys fighting for 10 and 10 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Like the most exciting.
They do. I think we've said it several times. There's been plenty of fight nights where like this was better than probably 4 pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Like, I could put this like above, like clearly.
You'll see the. I don't want to lose it again. The Evo
and Evo fight.
Yo, that
was a prelim. That was prelim.
That was a prelim fight night.
Yeah.
These guys war. 17 knockouts without dropping to the ground. You just watch them lights out.
Ebo versus Evo. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Uneducated MMA. And of course, I've been Juan Bread. That has been the BMF champion of the world, REG. Please like, share, subscribe. Shout out to 806 The Show. Shout out to A Vibe Entertainment. Everyone, you already know what to do. Get in the comments. Talk your shit. We'll catch you later. DJ, play my music.